welcome you back. Golf Talk of the Carolinas. John Hockaday alongside Daniel Naveau and Doug Thompson here in the booth. And guys, I got to tell you, before I bring in our next guest, Malcolm Scovil of Imagine Golf, I was listening to an interview, I guess it was probably a week, 2 weeks ago with Kadrick and McGinnis, and they had Malcolm Scovil on, and I'm sitting there listening to him talk about Imagine Golf, and I became very interested in it. And then toward, I guess, 2/3 of the way through the interview, he asked Malcolm about where he was from, and he grew up in Sanford, North Carolina. Can you believe that? Anyway, we've got Malcolm Scovil on the line. Malcolm, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. It's great to be here. Thanks a lot for having me.
Well, listen, great to have you back in Sanford tonight. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with Imagine Golf.
Yeah, well, it's good to be on the airwaves of Sanford and Lee County. I grew up on Lord Ashley Drive. Went to Lee Senior High School, and so much of my formative years was riding my BMX bike around Sanford and get down to Sanford golf course, and so many good memories. So I remember I'd get a moon pie after 9 holes, and pass me through the second 18.
Do you know a Cricket Scovil?
That's my mom.
Well, how about that? That's a small world. Yeah.
How do you know Cricket?
I just remember the name from growing up at Sanford Golf Course. Just remember that name. So
that is so great. Yeah, she lived there for many years. She actually moved to Durham, but she goes back. She got the supper club once a month with some of her girlfriends, and it's just such a great place. That's so fun that you know her name. So, and not many Cricket Scovils in the world.
No, there's not many Crickets. But anyway,
that's true.
When I was listening to you talk about Imagine Golf, there's a buddy of mine right here in the booth with me that is a really good player, and he's got one of those little devils that sits on his right shoulder that talks him into some shots occasionally that I know he doesn't want to hit. And after listening to a little bit about your program, I said, this is the perfect thing for my buddy Doug. So anyway, that's one of the reasons I called you, wanted you to get on tonight and tell us a little bit about Imagine Golf and how Imagine Golf is helping golfers.
Absolutely. Well, Imagine Golf is a new golf app for the mental game. And we launched the app about a year ago, and it's really struck a nerve with amateur golfers, professional golfers. We just passed over 250,000 downloads now of the app.
Wow.
And, you guys know that Arnold Palmerism, says success in golf depends less on strength of body than upon strength of mind and character. And Jack Nicklaus famously said, confidence is the single most important factor in his game. And on the women's side, Annika Swordsom, she practiced something called Vision 54, which is she imagined a birdie on every hole. It was a visualization exercise, and it took her to be the winningest, female golfer. But the Imagine Golf app is really simple. So every Sunday we launch a 7-day audio course, and each lesson is just 3 minutes a day. The courses are inspired by stories and techniques from best-selling golf books like Harvey Pinnock's Little Red Book and Ben Hogan's 5 Lessons, Vision 54 by Pia Nilsson and Lynn Marriott. We just did Zen Golf by Dr. Joseph Parent. And golfers listen in the morning when they're having a cup of coffee, they're walking their dog, or before they go to bed at night. And the idea is it's snackable. So in this short attention span world we all live in, where there's so much to listen to and look at and do, we found that a book, a 20-hour reading experience, is tough to one, get through it, and two, to retain that knowledge. But by going into these great books, and we're now partnering up with some other experts on the mental game, and pulling out one nugget at a time, it really helps to apply these concepts like pre-shot routine, post-shot routine, course management, specific things on like taking dead aim, which is a big thing Harvey Pinnock talked about, how to practice, and go to the driving range, a lot of ball bashing going on, but how did the pros actually practice very specifically before a competitive round? So that's what it's all about, and so I'll pause there.
Okay, well,
I don't know why you got to pause, because I'm sucking it up, but go ahead.
Oh, yes, he is. He's taking it all in.
He's taking notes right now.
Yeah, right. You're talking fast, but I'm writing fast.
Tell our listeners a little bit while I'm thinking of some other questions. Exactly, how do they get in touch with Imagine Golf? How do they get signed up for it?
Yeah.
How do they get started?
Yeah. So we, well, I said it's been live for about a year. We actually we launched it on for iOS, for Apple phones, and we just a few weeks ago launched the Android app too. So that's the best way to get it. It's a free app. They're kind of like meditation apps like Calm or other ones like that. There is some premium content in the app, but you don't need to pay. But if it's, I think, $3 a month if you want to subscribe and get access to all the older content. But every day, the daily drive is the main thing that folks are primarily listening to. And so that's, you open the app, and on this main screen, it's just right there. You just kind of just press the button, and that's it. It's a very simple user experience. But you go to imaginegolf.com. There's a little bit more information there. But we encourage folks to actually try our kind of onboarding course. It's 7 days. There's a few minutes a day. And we, when I first got my driver's license, I went, down in Sanford, the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles there.
Oh, yeah.
And we created this kind of fun idea inside the app called the Department of Mental Vehicles. And there's a driver's license course in the app where you learn how to drive your brain from the tee to the green, without getting in a car crash. And, a lot of, so there you go.
Actually, I was reading, some feedback from one of your customers that had downloaded the app, and he was talking about how he got his driver's license and got through it and was fired up, ready to go. So I guess that was the first step for him, and that he had gone through. So.
Yeah, that course covers like first tee jitters and shot routine. This idea of a post shot routine that Dr. Joseph Parent talks about. I never even heard of that idea before we put it in the app. But he says yes, three things going to happen when we hit the golf ball. You're either going to hit it great, you're going to hit it really bad, or you're going to hit it somewhere in between. And he has like a very specific thing to do, depending on what shot you hit. And he says never leave the spot you hit the ball before you make one good swing. And if you hit a great shot, he says, your mantra is always hit it that way. If you hit a skull or a shank or top it or something, chunk it. He says, oh, that's not like me. Like that's what he said. He said, that's not like me. And then like Hideki did in the Masters, if you kind of hit one on the 18 in the trap on the right there, it's not a terrible shot, but it certainly wasn't what he was trying to do. He said, I was a little bit off target, but he's not like beating himself. You're not beating yourself up. It's just, there's a method to the, how you follow up all these moments on the golf course.
Well, if I said that out loud, the guys I'm playing with would not recognize me.
There's a lot of days we don't recognize you. You beat yourself up so bad you got Band-Aids all over the place.
Yeah, you're right.
So this basically you've got pre-shot information, post-shot information, from what I understood you just said. So it's basically everything that you could possibly think about during a round. You touch on it during these 3-minute segments. Is that again my understanding?
Yeah, that's right. So we actually started out like in school. If you study you go to history class or English class, there's a curriculum. There's a set of books that you'll read throughout the semester. So we took inspiration from, just going back to school and said, well, let's our curriculum be like the top 100 best-selling golf books of all time. So one of the 7-day audio courses is Putting My Way, Jack Nicklaus's book on putting. One of them was on Understanding the Golf Swing by Manuel de la Torre, who was the pro up at Milwaukee Country Club, who famously said, none of the members of Milwaukee Country Club have a slice, because he had a technique for fixing the slice. Dr. Bob Rotella's book, 15th Club, is a 7-day spotlight on big ideas in that book. Gary Player's book, The Golfer's Guide to the Meaning of Life, he's a titan on the mental game. Total Shot Making by Fred Couples. So all these books, which you might have heard about but probably never read, we've gone in and found the 7 big ideas, and we've written them up with a brilliant, writer and narration that goes along with each one of them. There's the music behind it to kind of set the tone, kind of like you're listening to the Masters on Sunday. And it's kind of an immersive 3-minute experience where you're going to learn one thing, and each lesson has a story in it. So if you just get a tip without the story, then we find that the tip doesn't really stick. But it's every single one, kind of like Aesop's fables, like the tortoise and the hare. it's not the fastest guy that always wins the race. Most of the fables is a story, and we've taken inspiration from that too. So it's, there's a lot about the history of the game, and what Jack was thinking about in the '86 Masters, and when he was coming down the stretch. So there's these lessons that any amateur can apply, but they're kind of anchored or cemented in these stories that we all know, and that makes it a bit unique as well.
Well, Malcolm, I want to thank you for coming on and talking with us tonight again. I'm very intrigued with this, and we're going to look into it some more, and certainly hope that our listeners will take a look as well. And because I do think this is something that can help us all, no question.
I've already downloaded the app.
Have you?
Just now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got another one. However many you counted. Add one more to it.
You can't miss it in the App Store. And John and Doug and Daniel, we're when I'm back in North Carolina, I'll look you guys up. Maybe I can get into a foursome or walk the course with you guys. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, we need your
great.
help.
You'll
so
be
come
Doug.
on.
You'll be Doug's partner.
Yeah, that little guy on my shoulder, I want you to just slap the piss out of him. When you say it. You're the one to do it. I appreciate you, man. This is good stuff. I can't wait to put it on my phone. Daniel's already got his on. He's just that way.
I'm trying to get one step ahead.
3 minutes a day.
Yeah, I'm going to get
most
it
people
to
go
where
from 0 time to 3 minutes. So it's like an infinite increase in how much time you're spending on the mental game.
I'm just going to sit in my car and listen to it 3 minutes a day.
There you go.
That's where I can get my quietness. Yeah, I love it, man. Really do.
Yep. Well, Malcolm, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and certainly wish you the best with Imagine Golf.
Thank you so much, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All righty. Thank you. That's
All right, bye-bye.
Malcolm Scovil with Imagine Golf. We are going to take a short break when we come back.